Welcome to Rope Dropping Knowledge, where we guide you through the magic of Disney.
You should rap it.
No.
Yeah, you've been rapping it all week.
I wasn't rapping it. I was bouncing to it. It's in my head.
Okay, say it.
Okay, you guys know that TikTok song? Probably not, because you're all the same age as us. So
No, we got young people. We got people who are barely 18 entering our contest. So
is that Jiggle Jiggle song?
yeah, well, go ahead.
No, I don't want to rap
No,
it now.
go
Now
ahead.
You're embarrassing me.
No, well, how am I embarrassing you?
No. Let's talk about our giveaway.
You were singing it all
It
week.
was in one of our posts.
Okay, just
for
tell
the
me how it
giveaway.
goes.
My money don't jiggle jiggle. It folds. That's all I know. Except my money jiggles. It doesn't fold. I only have quarters. And I wish my money don't jiggle jiggle.
You're so funny. Okay. Email us if you want to hear Tracy rap or sing every episode, at least for like the first minute or so. We can
No,
make that
because
happen.
then we can't post it on YouTube.
No. If you actually sing a cover, you can.
Really?
Yeah, it's just
I
the
didn't know
algorithm
that.
picks up the original song. So, Yep. So email us if you want to hear her lyrical prowess.
I like the original old guy better.
So first of all, we have a winner from our last contest, Moo Pets.
Yes, the Moo Pets.
The Moo Pets. And it was a he, right?
Yes.
He won our convertible first order backpack and collectible key, which is perfect for Star Wars month. And yeah, you already sent that out, so he should be getting that pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
And
He lives in Socal, so should live pretty soon.
yeah, so have a nice prize at the beginning next week, probably. And yeah, congratulations. But we ain't stopping. We're not stopping.
Mm-hmm.
We're already launching our new giveaway, which is, and you know, we like Daniel Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got two Dannys, but we're going into the silver age, not the silver age of comics, but the silver age of rope dropping knowledge, the silver month of June. And we are giving away a Minnie Mouse Loungefly sized, not Loungefly, but Loungefly sized backpack. So a mini backpack. It's actually kind of bigger than the totally small ones, because I think there's 3 sizes.
Yes.
So it's not the full-size backpack, but it's not the tiny one that's like a...
It's Loungefly size.
Yeah, Loungefly size. Silver. All silver with just the black mini on it, winking at you. And I decided, because we were going to do this as 2 separate giveaways, but because they're the same exact color from the same collection, I said, no, we got to keep them together. Mm-hmm. It's like it was an adoption, you know. You don't adopt a brother one place and a sister the other place. You got to keep the sibling group tight. So we are also including Daniel Nicole, Danny, Minnie Mouse, same color as the backpack, crossbody.
Yes.
And I don't know if you call it a purse or just a crossbody, but I already put it on our stories. And then
Some people call it like a camera bag because it's shaped like a camera bag.
Yeah,
that's
kind of
just
a
what
rectangle.
it's called. It's not for a camera, but that's what it's called.
Yeah. But it has the crossbody strap. This time we actually checked the strap, so it's long enough for crossbody. So, and all you have to do, as always, is answer our magic question via Facebook or Instagram or email, info@ropedroppingknowledge.com, or a blog post.
Blog post.
Yeah, if you want to comment on because I posted on the blog.
Oh, yeah.
If you comment on the giveaway on the blog, I'll give you another entry, ropedroppingknowledge.com. If you do all 4, you get 4 entries.
Yes.
That's a lot of entries. But yeah, for every medium you use, you get an entry. So if you only do Facebook, you get 1 entry. If you do Instagram, that's another entry. You know, email, be another entry. Blog, be a 4th entry. Most people only do 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But it's up to you. Up to you. Up to you and see how lucky you are. How lucky you feeling, punk? No. And the question for this month is, what is your favorite Disney gear? So that can be your favorite outfit that you wear to the parks, maybe your favorite, ears, your favorite backpack. It could be a jersey. It could be pants. It could be a whole ensemble.
Disney, yeah.
And if you don't go to the parks that month, it could be something that you want. What Disney gear do you want? It could be either or. Something you have, something you plan on getting, something you wish you could afford. Maybe it'll end up in one of our giveaways.
Something I wish, maybe Club 33 years.
So, yeah, just give us that answer via one of those 4 mediums or all 4 if you want 4 entries. And you could win. Oh, we don't even know when this ends, do we?
No.
We didn't even check. Let's see. My money don't jiggle, jiggle. It folds. I want to see you wiggle, wiggle. For sure. That will be ending June 25th, Saturday.
June 25th.
11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All righty. So, we didn't go to the parks, but we went to Star Wars Celebration.
Star Wars Celebration.
Yes. And
it wore you out.
Yeah.
Got you grumpy.
I only get grumpy because I end up initiating events and then, like a typical wife, she takes over.
I want you to have the full experience and not just walk around being clueless.
Runs me ragged. I made a joke and I had to apologize to Tracy because I made it to another man and I felt like I was being, sexist.
Well,
or
he understood because he was using the maximum whatever too. He had a book full of autograph pictures that he wanted to get signed.
Yeah, and he's waiting for his brother. Yeah. Where is he? And in the line, and because Tracy's like, well, I want you to do this. I want you to get on this. And I'm just like, this is what you do.
And if I didn't do all that, you wouldn't have seen the Mandalorian experience. You wouldn't have had a picture with Giancarlo Esposito.
This is what you do at cons. I was like, you know what? I've been going to cons with guys since I was a teenager. Yeah. And it wasn't until I got married did they get stressful.
You went to cons before nerds were trending. Now nerds are trending and all the cons are like super packed and crowded. And so you have to plan ahead.
That's what happens when you're a trendsetter. Okay, good. Calm down, Tracy. I don't have to laugh that much. No. No, but yeah, I get cranky sometimes, and then I have to be like, I'm sorry. But then sometimes you do overdo it because even yourself will have like leg cramps or something because you think you can do more than you can do. You always think you can go harder and party harder, and you're not a partier. You always think you can walk a lot farther than you can. You always think you can eat more than you can.
Because all I was doing was standing around waiting.
Well, not there, but at the park sometimes and, other places. So you're over.
So I'm leaving Comic-Con up to you. You can do whatever you want. I'm just going to sleep in the room if that's all I do.
We might even end up giving the tickets away. I don't know. That'd be a good giveaway.
Yeah, if you guys want Comic-Con tickets.
It all depends if
You'd have to be a guy and a girl.
Yeah, it have to be a guy and a girl. And it's for a Thursday. That's the only reason I'm just like, yeah. It
might not be as bad in terms of crowds.
Yeah, maybe not.
So, because I went once on a Thursday with my sister, and she went by herself, but on the outside, I was hanging out.
Yeah, that's the first time I got her. We got her a pass, I guess, and she was so excited. She was like, "Oh, my first time at Comic-Con."
She liked it. She went by herself and just explored.
I think it's good for your sister to do things by herself. She needs to.
She really liked her solo day at Disney.
Yeah, she needs to realize what the world is like without input from others all the time. But yeah. But overall, I did have fun. And I always have fun with Tracy. So even if I become a grump, But I'm 51 years old. I figure I had a right to, AARP sent me a grumpy card. They said, hey, you have a right to be grumpy now, legally. Like James Bond has a license to kill, I have a license to grump. I'm grumpy like when I go to jiu-jitsu. I'm just like, even though I'm like rolling with people.
And I think it's because we've been spoiled with how organized Disney is with the chaos. I mean, as much as we complain, their bar is way up there. When you go to other events, you'll see that, okay, maybe we shouldn't complain about Disney because Disney is way better than organizations, signage, directions. Mm-hmm. They just don't communicate well.
The communication, but they're on the ground cast member like stuff is just bar none.
Yeah.
So, it was crazy because when we first got there, so we were staying at the Anaheim Marriott, and then we went and got our health pass, which was pretty quick, and you just showed them. That was pretty good communication.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. I mean, we didn't know what it was like, what it would be like Saturday, because it looked like they had prepped it for a huge crowd. Mm-hmm. The huge 2 ballrooms, and all that stuff. But when we went, it was like Friday morning. Mm-hmm. And so it wasn't as bad. Yeah. So,
So we just walked in and they had an app called Clear or whatever it was.
Yeah, an app.
And so basically you just, beforehand you can upload your vaccination status or whatever, and then you just show them the thing and they give you a blue wristband. It's supposed to be adjustable, but I didn't think it was. And then you go into the thing. Now, what's funny is that when we went to the convention center, like they have these food trucks parked. And then they have because we're right in the hotel right next door to the convention center. Mm-hmm. And there's this little alley between the food trucks. And I'm just like, Tracy, why can't we just go through here? And she's like, well, I don't know. And
I'm like, no, I think you're supposed to go there. There's a separate entrance. You're supposed to follow the crowd. But it was one of those ropes that you see at the club.
Yeah, like the velvet ropes.
And then we just went in between the velvet ropes.
Like they have at movie theaters and stuff.
Yeah, we just went. Brian's like, let's just go in between.
Yeah, because there was nobody there.
Nobody's looking at us, and so we're just like, all right, I guess. And we found out later that we did cut
it was funny because it's like I was in there. Nobody checked our health thing to see if we had one. No one checked our badge. I'm like, dude, there's nobody checking anything. Anybody could just walk in here.
Yeah, we walked in, but we found out that we were early, so we walked in this huge room in the basement where people were lining up to go in. So I thought, maybe we're just lining up to go in and they'll scan our badge later, right?
Right.
And then they still didn't. Nothing happened at 10 o'clock.
No. And nobody scanned. They didn't even really care. I mean, once in a while, you're supposed to wear a mask at the event, and I wore it maybe half the time.
Yeah.
It's like nobody, they didn't really have enough staff. It's good that there was no like drunk people or belligerent people, for that many people. I mean, it's not nearly as big as Comic-Con. It's probably like the fourth the size of Comic-Con, but still a lot of people, right? It's thousands of people.
And they sold alcohol in the exhibit hall.
Yeah, I know.
They don't do that at Comic-Con.
Yeah. You could bring alcohol in because they don't make you take your stuff out. When you're
they don't check your bags. Even later on, when we found out that there was actually a separate entry.
Yeah, because so what happened with that is that we kind of did like the Disneyland thing that we do. We went back to the hotel because we had purchased some stuff. We wanted to drop it off at the room, and then we came back, and then where we went, there was like some security guards there. We're like, maybe we need to go around. And we went around, and it's like this whole like Disneyland security checkup.
Yeah, but they didn't check your bag. You walk through the check. You walk through the detector thing with your bag and your phone on. Mm-hmm. And if it beeps, you leave your bag on the table, you walk through again.
Right.
And then I started opening my bag for him to look, and he's like, no, you're good. Go. Because they don't check your bag.
So I don't really see what the purpose is. So you basically, if you had a bomb, it just can't be on your person. As long as it's in your backpack, you're fine.
Yes, exactly.
It's so weird.
We went through it. He's like, put your bag here and put your phone, on the table. Then walk through again. Yeah. And then it was clear. And I'm like, okay. And then they're like, okay, go. I was like, you don't need to look at my bag? He's like, no, I'm good. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. It was like the most useless. And I don't know if that was a communication issue between what they were supposed to do and then maybe like that was their first day. I don't know. But
it was the second day because it was Friday.
I don't know if that was their first day, like that staff those staff people who happened to be there when we went through.
And then you walk through a main door, but then convention centers have multiple doors, right?
Yeah, they have the exhibitors only entrances, and everyone was going through it.
Everyone's just going through random doors, and then if somebody's like exiting a side door and it happens to be open, someone can just hold it for the other person. So people are just randomly walking through random doors. That's not the main entrance.
Like at Comic-Con, you literally have to scan your badge when you enter, scan your badge when you leave, so that the building knows you're leaving.
Yeah.
It's that organized.
And you scan your badge when you go into the exhibit hall again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Very, very
But I don't know
tricky.
how it is this year because they might be short-staffed too at Comic-Con.
It's true.
So we'll see.
It's true.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was weird, but it wasn't unpleasant. It was just you have to figure things out. You're kind of on your own.
Yeah, the unpleasant part
choose your own
kind
adventure.
of was so they also had a virtual queue, or a virtual queue to join like a panel or to shop Loungefly and the two popular ones, Loungefly and what was it? Funko Pop.
Funko Pop, yeah.
Funko and Loungefly. So we didn't get that lottery. We got the lottery to enter for the first panel of the day, which is a very popular one, but it's about that Light and Magic documentary that's going to be on Disney Plus, and it's basically special effects. So
it's about Industrial Light and Magic, which is the special effects company that George Lucas created to make his films with, and then it became kind of the biggest special effects company in the movie industry.
Yeah.
So, and it was about the people who were there at the beginning, how they were doing stuff. Ron Howard was part of the panel. I mean, it was really good.
Yeah, but so we had no idea where to line up if you won that lottery. Or there's a standby lineup, which has a big line, and we saw that it was a big line. We're like, I don't think we go here. We go where lottery. We don't know where it was. So people were like, here, whatever. And then so we went there, scanned through, and then I had put that my party was party of 2. But the guy who scanned me said, Brian had to scan 2. I'm like, no, mine says party of 2. They're like, oh, well, I don't know. Step aside. And then his supervisor or some other guy came up and said, just go. So then we went.
He's like, we're not supposed to do this. And I'm like,
just go. And he let this
what are you
other
supposed
party
to
of
do?
5 go through.
Let people in with bombs in their backpacks? Like, what do you... They'll let you in the bomb in the backpack, but you're not going to actually let a legit person into this hall.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Whatever.
And then the celebration hall is forget it. Usually at cons, people camp out to go through the big hall, which is the panels with the celebrities like Dave Filoni and Favreau and all those people like Hayden Christensen, Kenobi. So here they are not letting you camp out anymore, but you can start lining up at 6 a.m. and the panel starts at 11. So you can line up like 5 hours ahead. You just can't camp out anymore.
It's kind of like you're in the underground garage.
Yeah, that garage place. That place where you see people sleep and camp out during D23.
So, I mean, it was fine. I mean, we're used to big crowds, obviously. So it was like, that wasn't a big deal.
It's just an organization of where do you stand in line kind of thing. And
for what? Yeah.
For stuff that is like standby lines and lines that have reservations all are chaotic and anybody can jump in line and you wouldn't know. Like, there's not enough staff. So that's why we're like, oh, now we appreciate Disney more.
But at the same time, I mean, I understand why they wouldn't have enough staff. I mean, this is an event that was put off and then moved forward, and then you're trying to find people to staff it in the middle of people not wanting to work.
Yeah, and these are probably volunteers.
Yeah, so but we saw a lot of Disney cast members too.
Cast members
in the Mandalorian.
Yeah, only in the Mandalorian experience.
Yeah, they're like, we're gonna have Disney people do this. We're not gonna let anybody mess it up. It's gonna be
even then,
Disney.
It was kind of chaotic, right? You saw two cast members like arguing on who they should let in first and stuff like that.
Well, because you don't. It's not the cast members' fault or the staff's fault that aren't official cast members. Like anybody who was working there, volunteering there, like I can't imagine they got a lot of training.
No,
and I bet you it was like, this is what you stand here, and this is how it works, and you probably won't give me a chance to ask too many questions. And so, keeping that in mind, it probably worked really well for the amount of people you had. There was no like trampling to death, and nobody was getting mad. Yeah. So I would say it was a success, but I think a lot of that success is just the fact that you had a lot of customer service friendly people that happened to be working. You know, and they were just good people, even without the training. So yeah. But yeah, the day started at the Light and Magic exhibit or hall, whatever you want to call it. Panel.
Yeah.
That was cool. But what was really cool is they had like a DJ Atomic Blonde. I think I've seen her some other places. I don't know where, but I think she does like, Disney type stuff, She's probably friends with that DJ that we see on New Year's Eve.
Wendy.
Wendy, yeah. And then her, and then I forget Mara or something.
The MC.
The MC. And then what was cool is that before the panel started, they did like a dance contest, and anybody could go up there and dance. And, everyone's all cosplayed out. So that was, and we posted those on our story, I think, the day after. That was hilarious. Mandalorians all freaking and
yeah, they
Leia
were in
twerking.
Leia twerking, Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That was actually a lot of fun. And it actually, you do those type of things and you kind of roll your eyes. It's like, okay, they want you to get up and feel energy. And it's like, whatever. It did wake me up because it was funny.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, wow. Okay, I guess I am enjoying myself. I guess these things do work, And so, yeah, we watched that panel.
So the panel was Lawrence Kasdan. He's the director of the show. And then they had visual effects people, veterans on there. Dennis Muren, Phil Tippett. These are all people that did Empire Strikes Back, New Hope, like the original trilogy. Joe Johnston, Rose Dugnan, and Ron Howard was on there.
Yeah.
And then the current EVP of Lucasfilms is Lynwyn Brennan. She was there.
Yeah. It was kind of funny because there wasn't a whole lot of Lucas in it. George Lucas.
I know.
And it's kind of like, I'm just wondering, like, yeah.
Because these are the original. Yeah, they talked about him a lot. How, like,
it was like an homage to what he created, but then he himself wasn't. Because it's not like he's dead. Like,
right.
He's still alive. So I'm wondering if it's just kind of like, he's just kind of like, I sold it, because this is a Disney production. Right?
That's true.
So I don't know, but I don't know.
It's still Lucasfilms, but he sold it. So yeah, but they were talking about how it was like him being kind of generic and general about what he wanted, and then they made up, like how the one guy was saying, just make a squid guy or a calamari looking man, and then he made. Well,
that's when they were naming him. That guy is calamari. Okay, let's switch it up. Mon calamari. It's like he's a squid. He's calamari. Yeah, it's funny because he wasn't super specific in how he wanted stuff, but he said he did that because he would want you to bring him options.
Right.
So if he was super specific, you're going to kind of just
not be creative and do it.
Well, you're gonna focus. You're gonna tunnel vision in on one thing that he may not want at the end. He wants to be able to choose from like 4 or 5 things.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of an interesting leadership style.
Yeah.
But it seemed to work though. So.
Yeah, he let them be creative, and like that one animal that Luke was riding in the second.
The Tauntaun.
The Tauntaun, yeah. He was like, build something, or whatever. And then they just gave him a couple of options, or more than a couple. And
right.
Yeah.
But he said one way to get something done is, build something out of like plastic, like a hard, tangible object, and then he'll go with it because he considers that the final product. So, but if you leave like original prints on the wall, you shouldn't, because he'll just mark all over them.
Yeah,
make like a teacher.
And back then, it probably took forever to do a clay model, because now, like, look, we could just 3D print like you have, like Austin did for you, quickly, and then it's easier. But back then, it probably took them forever just to do.
Taking somebody a week to get like all the details out of something that was pretty big.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to that documentary show on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it was really well done.
Yeah.
And then we went because I wanted to see Citizen Watches.
Yes.
And they were having some Star Wars exclusives there. And I bought a Darth Vader inspired watch.
Yep.
They have 2. One, but the other one, I didn't, we've talked about this before on the podcast. I don't like things that are too like on the nose. So the one had like a face of Darth Vader on the watch. And I was just like, I liked mine. It's just black with the Imperial symbol on the dial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other one had some red stuff on it, so you don't like it too obvious.
Yeah. And I don't even know when I'm going to wear the watch. I wore it, during that day. But I like watches. I'm kind of getting into watches, so I hope it doesn't become a bad habit. Because now I want Swiss watches. I've been watching a lot of watch documentaries and stuff.
Should we step back and talk about the night before when we met Mark?
Oh, Mark is cool. Yeah.
So when we checked into the hotel the night before, we went to the Infuse bar to have a dinner and drinks. Had that special TIE Fighter drink. And we met Mark from Australia. He was there having a drink while he was waiting for his daughter to party it up with the Mandalorians cosplayers.
She's a Mandalorian.
Yeah, she applied to be a Mandalorian. He's basically there to support her and help her carry all her costume because she cosplays as Mandalorians and she has different costumes. And she was applying to join that 501st.
501st is Stormtroopers, so the Mandalorians have their own thing.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So she was applying to do that. And so while she was partying in one of the ballrooms at the Marriott, he's just figured he'd sit and have a drink. And we talked to him a little bit. And he's cool. From Australia, all the way from Australia.
Really cool guy. It was funny because I was talking to you about how I should go back into writing scripts. And maybe that'll be my next job. I always wanted to do that. I've started a few, and then I just, started just taking practical jobs and then work and then life and then all this takes over. And then I was like, I should go from being an HR director to a script writer. And then that's when he jumps in. He's like, whoa, that's a big jump, Yeah, it was funny. But he was a cool guy, and it was like, he comes to the United States, I guess, at least once a year because he's an IT consultant, so is his wife. And he's also, they're into Star Wars, they're into Disney. Daughter's way into Star Wars.
They all are, and
they help her with her costumes and stuff.
They were here at Star Wars Celebration in 2015 when it was in Anaheim. Mm-hmm. They may be Magic Key holders too because they say, they were annual pass holders before. Mm-hmm. Because even if they come 3 times a year, it's still, he says, worth it, and then so they just get the pass. Yeah,
because when he would come here once a year, then he would go up. I guess it was in Washington where the ID thing is, but then it would come down and go to Disneyland. Yeah. But I figured he'd probably stay there for 5 days.
Yeah,
Then that makes a pass worth it. Just that,
So after Star Wars Celebration, he says he's planning on him and his family are
his wife's
here for
coming
a week to go to Disneyland.
So hopefully they had fun. His week's probably up by now, but
yeah.
So tip of the hat to you, Mark. Loved meeting you. Really nice guy. We like meeting people.
Yeah.
So
especially from all out of the country here just for Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah. Maybe our Australian listeners will go up from 10 to 11. Because I think we're at 10 right now. So
that's funny. So then that was the day before. So anyways, back to our day. Citizens Watch. We checked out the exhibit hall where all the vendors are. We got some chocolates or truffles. Truffles. Yeah. Got some for Kevin and Christina.
Yeah. Did they say how they liked them?
They didn't say. They posted it and thanked us. They said it looked so pretty.
She probably hated them.
No, I thought they were good.
No, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. They're pricey.
Yeah, they're
not pricey. I mean, I know you said she always gets me with this. I want to support small business. Then I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're not yes, they're more expensive than C's candy and stuff like that. But yeah, it's small business and it's interesting looking because they come in all sorts of flavors from cosmopolitan to tiramisu to sea salt caramel.
Well, I don't even know the name of the company.
It's called Copper Coast Confection.
Okay.
They may be at Comic-Con. I forgot to ask them, but I think they will be at Comic-Con.
They're pricey, but I will say with the designs and the taste, they're worth it. Yes. They're worth the price, but they're pricey.
Yeah.
So don't buy them if you're just craving chocolate.
No.
But if you want something that tastes good and it's kind of like more of a gourmet feel, then yes. So it's kind of like when I say pricey, like a Rolex is pricey. That doesn't mean it's not worth the money.
Yeah.
It's just, it's pricey,
But they're actually also known for their fudge. Because that little corner was just the truffles, but then they had the huge area for the fudge, and I'm not really into fudge, so that's why I chose the chocolates or the truffles.
Yeah. But give them a shout out because, I mean, I like the way they taste, And so somebody who likes to grub down chocolate, these are something you enjoy.
Yeah, you just take a small bite and then put it away.
They sell them in packs of 6, and then I guess you can get 12, so like a box of 12 too. So yeah, they're really good. And it's something though I would never buy it for myself. If I saw them again, I probably would purchase them, but it would be for a gift. Yeah. They're very nice gifts. Yeah. Comes in a nice box too.
Yeah. And then what did we do? Oh, we did the what did you the Jedi Survivor reveal? That's you because I have no idea what that meant, and everyone was crying and screaming, and I'm like, huh? What's going on? Is this a show? I'm like, oh, it's a show, and you're like, no, it's a game. I'm like, oh, where's everyone?
Yeah,
crying?
It was the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. So everyone talks about Kyle Kestis, that he's the star of that game. Yeah. And so that's when he popped up on screen. That's how good they're doing the graphics now. If you look at it from a little far away, it looks like a real person. So
yeah, I thought it was a show. I thought it was a show. The way people were screaming and they were like, "Oh my god!" and they're screaming, and I was like, "What's going on? What's this?" It was like a teaser trailer that they were showing.
But it was the first. But because until video games actually have their trailer, they're just rumors that they're working on it. Oh, so it's not like a movie where everyone, they're definitely working on it. This is when it's coming out. Like you don't really get a release date. Right. It's like it's done when it's done. So this was the first time they showed the trailer ever in the world that we saw. And that's why everybody was. It's not like they saw the trailer a couple weeks ago and they're showing it again.
I knew it was the first time something. It was some reveal, and I was like, okay, I don't know this character, but okay. I heard about him as a theory that he might show up. That he was one of the theories that would show up to find Grogu. Not Luke. Yeah. They said Cal somebody, and I was like, oh, is this the guy?
But I always come up with these theories because there's only so many Jedis that they know that are actually active after, Return of the Jedi. So, so only so many that we know that survived. So that's why people get excited.
The only other Jedi I knew that is not in anything yet is Ezra, who Ahsoka's looking for, right?
And there's a few that we know. So like Quinlan Vos, I mean, spoiler, but they saw his name in Obi-Wan, and so he's alive. At least.
Wait, what is he in?
He's just in books, and he might be in. He might have been in the Clone Wars. He might have been in the Clone Wars. Rebels. He wasn't in Rebels. No. Oh. But like if you read the books and the comic books, he's in them. And so that name that got people excited. So yeah, that's how Star Wars is. It's just a bunch of hints.
I know they had a teaser trailer for The Mandalorian season 3 at the big stage, the panel that we didn't camp out to. So I knew they had that, and that hasn't been released publicly yet. Right. So.
But, I got some screenshots, but I'm not going to share them. But, yeah. Then we got to meet an idol, a legend.
Moff Gideon.
Yeah. So
that
Mr.
was also
Esposito himself.
Mr. Giancarlo Esposito. And that was one of the activities that I signed up ahead of time for to do. Yeah. Even then, that was chaotic. We didn't know what line because they send you an email and say you're in group 2, line up at 2:20 p.m. But then there was nothing marked, nothing, and everybody was waiting around early to get in line.
Yeah. And so this is the one thing that does bug me, and this is why I don't make reservations for chaotic places a lot, because it's like I know they're not going to know what to do. And it's not because people are dumb. It's because logistics. on paper is totally different. It's a whole field of study.
Yeah.
And it's like people go to college and get into logistics.
That's why Disney's
operations
so good
management.
at it,
Right. And so it's like you can think of something, okay, this is how it's going to work on paper, and then you add 10,000 people, and it's like, why isn't it working? It's like, no, it's because...
And the 10,000 people is not going to show up at the time you say to show up. They're going to be there early. Right? Because they don't want to be the last in line or whatever.
Right. And even if they showed up on time, it's kind of like, you can't like say, okay, this is the time. We know we have like hundreds of people who want to do this activity. So show up at this time. Oh, but you can't stand here.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't stand here.
Well, what it said in the email was, just like boarding a plane, if you're in group 1, 2, 3, line up where your group is, just like you do as on a plane. And I'm like, what? I don't know. I guess
there was nowhere to stand. So you stand one place, and you're with the people you think is your group.
Yeah.
And they're like standing, and they're like, no, this is a walkway. You can't stand here. So then you move over here, and then there's just a person with a blowhorn saying, your group's not ready yet. Your group is ready. Everybody, and it's like they don't know what's going on.
Yeah, because I know that we were group 2, but then there were some group 4 people in our line. Because obviously no one's checking, right? So I saw a guy, he's group 4, but he was standing behind us, and I'm like, whatever, I'm not the police, whatever. I'm not the line police, so we'll stand wherever you want. But if you got through, you got through. But nobody's looking.
Technically we could have went in group 1. Nobody would have said anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, he was checking the printed out thing like once every 10 people. Mm-hmm. But because there was such a mob, you can't, it's like whatever. So,
but they do scan your thing before you go into
you couldn't get a picture with him for free.
Right.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you wouldn't even be able to pick it up because it has your barcode attached to it. Yeah. But yeah, he was great because it was really quick. They were getting people in and out, and I was just like, it's an honor. He's like, indeed.
Because they tell you this is not a meet and greet.
Right.
The meet and greet is when you just get his autograph and you don't get any pictures. And then you get to talk to him. Mm-hmm. The photo op, they said, is like really quick, in and out. Don't give him any gifts. Don't do anything. But he still shook our hands, and he was
really,
he's really nice.
And I was telling you, I'm like, and I was telling my friend Victor too. It's just like, I don't think he knows how big he is.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he's probably for the weekend got paid 150 grand. But I'm not going to say, I don't know anybody's financial situation, but I don't think he needs it. And because he's in everything.
Yeah.
Like the Boys debuted today. He's in The Boys.
Oh.
He's in The Boys. He was in Breaking Bad. He's in Star Wars. He was in 7 other things. You know what I mean? It's like he's one of the busiest working actors, alive. Mm-hmm. And then he still takes time to take pictures. Maybe he just likes people.
Yeah, he did both. He did the pictures and he did the meet and greet.
Yeah.
So there were some people who did meet and greet.
Because he's one of the actors that people go see at other cons.
Yeah.
Like, they have nothing to do with Star Wars. Mm-hmm. Star Wars is like his least
Yeah, because he's only in The Mandalorian. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not even his claim to fame. He just happened. So the fact that he happened to be there, I'm like, let's get him.
Yeah.
That checks off a lot of boxes at once.
Yeah. I mean, of course, Ewan McGregor was sold out in 1 hour. So,
but it's not like if Ewan McGregor was at a car show, I don't know if people would care. You see what I mean? He shows up, Giancarlo shows up at a car show, people care.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a trip.
The other popular one was Kelly Marie Tran. She sold out. Mm-hmm. Not within an hour, but within the week.
Yeah.
So.
And I didn't want to make too many reservations anyway. I was like, let's pick one.
That's the only one I would want.
And we'll go with that one.
Yeah. So that was cool.
I don't think anybody else I would probably get a picture with. Maybe Mark Hamill.
Oh, he wasn't even there at all, huh?
Mm-mm.
No.
But I would, out of Star Wars, him or Lucas himself. Mm-hmm. But that's it. And I don't think Lucas, he's worth $8 billion. I don't think he's taking pictures with people. But
he wasn't even there. He's like, I'll stay home. I'm not going. Yeah, so that was a cool experience. I've never done photo ops before. And then I was telling Brian, like, obviously I've never done it before because I wasn't prepared. There were people with folders and binders to keep the photo in after. I'm like, oh, well, I didn't think of that. Like, you know, the guy in front of us was like, had a whole book, you know, and he had autographs and things like that. I was like, well, if they're smart, maybe they'll sell a sleeve once we pick up the photo. And sure enough, they did. They sold a sleeve for like, what was it, $5 or something?
Yeah,
the sleeve,
$5.
Yeah.
So,
and then we paid a little extra to get the digital.
Yeah, and I think that was probably a better choice because I think it was $15 if you bought the digital beforehand, and it was $18 if you bought it there.
Yeah,
but if you bought it beforehand, you're adding a logistical problem.
Right.
So if something doesn't work, or we didn't get your order, or blah blah blah.
Now we actually saw the picture and we're like, oh, it looks good. Let's get a digital.
Yeah. So I think that $3 is worth it.
Yeah.
Just get it there. So, and it's weird how they do it because it's like your printed picture has like a little barcode in the border,
side. Yeah.
And that's how they know how to get your digital.
Yeah.
Because they just think, okay.
Yeah. So that was cool.
So
then
we want to talk about
shopping.
We went shopping a little bit, and I purchased the watch, and then we purchased something else. I forgot
the posters with he's like the artist Michael Golden.
Well, that was at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But we did do that.
We did the watch and the chocolate together.
Right.
And then we rested, and then we did the photo op, and then then we did the Mandalorian experience,
that's the one
which is another reservation thing I had to do because I didn't want to stand in a line for an hour. So I did the virtual queue thing, and I set it for 3:30 because I figured we had the photo op at 2:30, so we'll do that at 3:30. And we had another meet and greet at 5, so I was like, okay, let's do this at 3:30. And so we did the Mandalorian experience, and that's when you got kind of grumpy because even though we were thinking, okay, maybe it's like Disneyland Lightning Lane. When you have a reservation, you go right through. But no, we still stood in line for like maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and then we saw how chaotic it was, where we're like, are we even going to get in? Because our time was 3:30, and then the 4 o'clock people started coming in, and they didn't know where to line up.
And then they were letting other people who didn't have reservations go.
Yeah, the standby line go before us, and I'm like, this is not how Lightning Lane works.
But actually, though, I'm glad we went. That was probably, and a lot of other people are saying this too, probably the highlight of the entire convention.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian experience was sublime. It was terrific.
And there were real props, like real things.
These are the things
they
used in the show.
Yeah, costumes, everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we got a lot of pictures. We didn't even post them all, but I think we posted like 20 of them.
We posted most of the videos.
Yeah.
The main character thing was Baby Yoda in the ship.
Mm-hmm. He's waving at people.
I guess that's the actual thing.
Oh,
they use in the movie, right?
Yeah. They had the Naboo starfighter, actual size. Mm-hmm. You know, like I could see some rich person building that in his backyard. Just, but yeah, it was definitely worth whatever chaos and wait time we did. Because once you get inside, it's actually pretty calm. And they got the nice Mandalorian.
Because they don't let everyone inside at once.
Yeah.
So then you have room to take pictures where there's not like a crowd in front of a guy in front of you or whatever. Mm-hmm. So that's why there was a wait.
And it's treating it like a museum.
Yeah.
Because it's quiet. There's nobody talking really.
Right.
At least not that loud. So
yeah, it's just the Mandalorian music going on in the background, really low. And
there's a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not like 7 or 8 things. There's probably like 100 things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really cool.
Because there's all the weapons and stuff that we didn't post yet. A lot of stuff. So that was, I'm glad we did that. That was worth it.
Yeah. I don't know if this is in dot points, but Mandalorian's at Galaxy's Edge now. Well, yes. Boba Fett is.
Boba Fett and Fennec Shand is.
Yeah.
Mandalorian is coming soon, they said.
So that's huge because they're breaking that stupid time lock rule of only being about the sequels, which was dumb.
Yeah.
And I think I already went through a rant about it, but it was dumb.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they're finally doing that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now it's going to open it up because more people are going to want to go to that land now. Yeah. Because it's so lopsided. Because if you don't, honestly, if you don't have Rise of the Resistance reservations, or you're going to go there for standby, there's really no reason to go to Galaxy's Edge. Maybe a little shopping.
Well, Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Smuggler's Run.
I mean, let me put it to you. Let me just be. There's really no reason to go there for more than an hour.
Yeah.
You know, but if you start bringing in other time, I mean, you have an entire time, like different times, a whole universe of characters.
Yeah.
So if you start bringing in all the other characters, the legacy characters, Clone Wars characters, original trilogy characters.
If they brought in Ahsoka, people will.
Ooh, I know. People will go there just for that.
Yeah.
They would just hang out in that land all day, which makes like Tomorrowland less crowded. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
it's a good way of evening things out, and all you're doing is switching costumes on people.
Yeah.
It's just a new costume set,
Right.
and that's all you need to do.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah, they should put what's the one stormtrooper? She's in Tomorrowland, but she should be in Galaxy's Edge.
oh yeah, what's her name? Brienne.
Yeah.
I forget her name.
I forgot the name of the stormtrooper.
Yeah,
Phasma.
Phasma. Yeah,
Captain Phasma or something. Finn's boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should put her in Galaxy's Edge. She's walking around Tomorrowland. I'm like, no, you belong over there.
Yeah. And if they still want to like keep things like timeline, like canon specific, all you got to do is the same way you treat Minnie and Mickey. Like you don't see Mickey at a meet and greet and in a parade at the same time. So you just say, okay, this time, from this time to this time, it's Mandalorian era. This time, it's original trilogy era.
Yeah.
This time, it's Clone Wars era.
Yeah.
And that's all. And so that's all you got to do. So.
Yeah. Anyway, so then, when we went shopping some more and we saw this booth that had comic book art. Or no, not just comic books. Every art. We bought a bunch of Star Wars art that was made by Michael Golden. And his
pretty
wife
big deal.
edited a few comics in the past. So
yeah, he's done stuff for Marvel Comics a while back, and and then I'm glad we got there at the end of the day because they put on a sale, and so he sold a lot of his prints. So I think I ended up buying like 4 prints, and maybe I might even. If someone gets lucky, I might even do a giveaway with one.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Well, you bought 4 prints, but then you bought an extra like mystery package that had extra stuff in it.
Stuff in it. But what's cool is that you not only do you buy the prints, he was there signing them.
Yes.
So each one of these that I bought is signed. So if we do a giveaway, it would be signed by the artist.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And they said they'll be at Comic-Con as well. So if you do want to give it away, we'll buy another one.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, remember us? So that was cool. And then another meet and greet I signed up for. That was kind of free, but it was put on through Box Lunch. So everybody likes that place because it has cool Disney stuff. And I signed up to do a meet and greet and with Daniel Logan, who's young Boba Fett in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
And now he's grown up, of course. He's an adult now.
Well, you liked him because he liked one of our posts.
And he liked one of our posts. Or like, hey, someone with a blue check mark likes our post. Who is this? I was like, oh my gosh, it's Boba Fett. Kid Boba Fett. But anyways, he's really funny. He's really friendly. And I was like, hey, you liked one of our posts. He's like, oh yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I like when he was on the panel telling the story about like when he was in the Clone Wars, and like Tamara Morrison was like his dad, and became his dad, and then I guess his mother and father, were estranged, and so his mother said like, if your dad calls, don't answer the phone, and Tamara Morrison calls, and his sister answers, and hung up on him. And it's just, you said, don't me say it. He's like, what happened? He's like, well, my mom said, don't talk to my dad and my sister. Those are my dad. So
That's funny.
Yeah, it's a funny story. But he's a really cool guy. He's down to earth. He has a lot of energy.
He has a lot of energy.
Yeah.
He signed a poster because that was the thing that Box Lunch was doing.
And by the way, that was free.
Sign a poster. Yeah, that was free. You just had to be a D23 Gold member or a Box Lunch loyalty member. And I was the Box Lunch loyalty member.
Yeah.
And so I signed up for it. And he signs the poster that they Box Lunch printed or whatever, and then took a picture with us. Like one of his staff or somebody was holding my phone and she was taking pictures of us.
She took like a few.
Yeah, she took a few. She took of us talking to him. And so we posted that. Then when we left, we saw this cool baseball jersey. I haven't posted it yet. I will later.
Yeah.
That says Sith Lord.
Yeah.
Well, no, it says Dark Side on the front. On the back, it says Sith Lord, and it's the number 77, which was the year I was born, and probably the year Star Wars started. New Hope came out. So Brian thought it would be perfect for me, and plus it didn't have your size, so I was like, I'll take it. So I bought 2.
Yeah. Oh, but 2 sizes.
2 different sizes.
One we might give away to a lucky cousin. We'll see.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool because we were trying to find it online and we can't find it anywhere.
It doesn't sell it anywhere. No.
I think the brand is Her Universe, and I know people know that brand because a lot of cosplayers buy that brand.
Yeah.
But we couldn't find it, that exact jersey. It's a baseball jersey, though.
I am having a custom one made, though.
You are?
Well, yeah.
For you?
For me.
Oh.
What do you mean? What are you giving me that look? You got one. I'm the one who didn't get one.
But you got a magic key embroidered on your jersey.
Well, you like a puppy? Like if you have a ball and if another dog has a ball, you got to take their ball? Like
I'm like a kid who you can't say you're going to Disneyland in front of me because then I'll want to go with you too.
You and your mom. You're the same.
My mom is like that in Vegas. Don't tell my mom we're going to Vegas because she's going to want to come with us. But that's good that you got the magic key because later on we'll talk about whether it will still be around. But anyways.
Yeah.
But anyways, overall, I think we had a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good experience. I think next time is in London, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, not going to London.
We're not going to London.
No.
But like the last time it was here, it was 2015. So
Well, I think it's only every 2 years anyway.
Yeah, it's every 2 years. The last time, 2015, and then 2017, it was in Chicago. And it was supposed to come back here in 2020. But then, for obvious reasons, it didn't. So who knows when it'll come back here.
Yeah. Probably like 6 years. Yeah.
After experiencing this, I'm curious what D23 will be like, but I'm also intimidated and don't want to go to D23. It's like, that's okay.
Maybe Dole with Float will come out and go to D23, and then she could just take pictures and stuff for us.
Yeah.
We'll get her and our family a hotel room. And then
No, she said when Star Wars Celebration was in Chicago, she didn't go because she was kind of intimidated by, I don't know what to do, like where to go and stuff. So I kind of told her, how cons work and kind of, and I don't know, maybe I scared her more because I was like, I'm not doing it again.
We need to talk to the NorCal more often. They need to fix some of these issues. Know what's going on. Too much chaos.
Yeah. Chaos. But I don't know.
Well, that was that. Now it's time for...
It's Taste Talk with Tracy. Mash some magic in your mouth.
The lobster mac and cheese in a sourdough bread bowl at Harbor Galley was really good.
Yeah, you liked it.
It doesn't taste like the mac and cheese at the refreshment corner, where it's like American cheese, like the bit. But this one was actually using like a creamy sauce with cheddar. It tastes like cheddar. So it was good and had a kick to it. And the lobster pieces were big. So I really liked it.
Yeah.
Kind of scared me because I looked at the menu today and it wasn't there. So I was like, oh my God, it's not there. And then Gothic Rosie panicked. Oh, what? And then somebody said, no, if you go on the mobile order menu, it's still there. And I was like, oh, good, it's still there. So yeah. False alarm.
Yeah, it was good. I had a bite of it. Yeah, I think it's just an old Disneyland staple. I think it's going to be, well, I mean, it's not that old, but...
It's a secret. It used to be a secret menu item.
Yeah.
So...
But I think it's going to be there for a long time.
Yeah,
and a lot of people have tried it. All the different combos, the mac and cheese, the clam chowder.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later, but...
We've talked about it already.
Oh, did we? Okay.
We talked about it with the lobster roll.
Oh, yeah.
That time we went with my sister.
Yeah. So yeah.
All those things are good there.
Yeah, they're all good, and especially like on some Disney days. I know we always complain about it being hot. Mm-hmm. Some Disney days are cold, and on a cold day, like the clam chowder or the mac and cheese, man, that really hits the spot.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
Definitely.
All
right. Now.
So the big news was Magic Key sales have been paused. Mm-hmm. It just says unavailable when you go on the site to try to buy a Magic Key.
Right.
And then on the same day, the 3-day Socal deal is back, which is a 3-day Socal deal. If you remember last summer, they released a 3-day Socal deal. And then a month later, they announced that Magic Keys will go on sale. So is this kind of related? I don't know. But the 3-day Socal deal is basically $85 a day if you buy 3 days, but that's if you go Monday through Thursday. Mm-hmm. If you go on the Friday through Sunday, it's $100 a day. One park per day.
Right.
If you want a park hop, add $60.
Yeah. It's it's strange. I think everyone thinks it's going to be something. They're going to be renewing, but
they haven't confirmed.
But they haven't confirmed.
There are sources like the LA Times and all these OC Register. They had talked to a Disneyland or Disney official, and they said, "Oh, we're still going to renew people who have the passes." They haven't officially announced it anywhere, like Twitter or anything, but they've spoken to those big newspapers.
Well, here's the thing. So, what's today? The 3rd? That we're recording this? The 2nd, then this will probably come out. Most people listen to this on the 3rd. We have basically a little over a month to find out because July 16th is the magic number.
Oh, is that the 40-day window?
40-day window to renew. For people, because it started, Magic Keys began sale on August 25th.
But then when people scan in is when their first day.
Yeah, but some people scanned in that day. Yeah, some people bought them and went.
Well, you can't because remember we were staying up online for 6 hours. Maybe the next day, August 26th.
Maybe the next day.
Let's just say August 26th.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see.
Well, it's anything like you said. When there's a pending investigation, a lawsuit is like a pending investigation on something. You got to pause it while the investigation is pending.
Right.
So you can't just continue. You got to stop the bleeding first, and then So I can see why they had to pause sales of the Magic Key program because there's a lawsuit pending.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be. I mean, they didn't have to, but I mean, it probably come up. So typically, what happens is when there's, and I don't. Did this go class action? Don't remember.
It's class action.
So it got class action status.
The dream people.
Yeah.
The dream key.
So it got class action status. So what that means, that's what made it a big deal. Because an individual lawsuit's nothing. They just pay you off and it's whatever.
Yeah.
With a class action status, what happens typically is not just the money that's going to be paid out at the end. It's the what are you going to fix part of it. That's the biggest part of it. That's what companies are really afraid of and why they really scare. I mean, yeah, the class action makes it more money to pay out. But sometimes, people who've got like Ticketmaster class actions or whatever, it's usually they only get like $10 a piece or something. But they don't know what they're going to have to fix.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what you're going to have to fix, you don't want to sell more.
Right.
Yeah. So they could say, well, you can only sell this type of pass if you have no reservations or something. Okay, well, we're definitely not going to sell more until we know that.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So
I see why they have to stop everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll wait and see.
Yeah. It's causing some panic, but I mean, these are new. So they don't want to gain any more new, like who are besides Kevin and Christina, who are these new people who want to buy all of a sudden Magic Keys in the middle of the year?
Well, a lot of people, because a lot of people were kind of waiting to see. A lot of people were saving money for it. A lot of people, like Kevin and Christina, they had a wedding. So there's like, we need to concentrate on that. And then, we'll do it afterwards. But there's always, I mean, there was people buying passes, before the pandemic, they always had new customers. The parks were getting bigger, not smaller. So it's just, sometimes you're in a situation, a lot of times it's just life. So it's kind of like you have a 3-year-old and okay, we take them to the parks once in a while, maybe once, twice a year. And now they don't get in for free, because now they're over 3.
You have to buy it for them.
But they want to go. Now they're into Frozen or they're into whatever IP is out. And so it's like, okay, if we're going to go 4 times a year, we might as well get a pass. And that's what happens. And then now they're a Disney Pass family or Magic Key family or whatever you want to call them. And people are turning 3 every day. It's like how you say people die every day. Well, people are turning 3 every day too. And every time someone turns 3, that's a potential pass holder family in the waiting.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. All right.
Anyways, so more Star Wars news. This wasn't announced at Celebration. It was during some meeting or interview with Kathleen Kennedy, I think. But the new Star Wars movie directed by Taika Waititi will be out late 2023. So that is the first movie since Rise of Skywalker.
Right.
So,
which is, I'm wondering, don't know what it's going to be, but it doesn't even seem like he's very Star Wars-y.
Yeah,
he's funny.
Interesting choice.
He's somebody who I would think would be making, I could see him making a funny droid episode of the Clone Wars or something.
This is the actual movie.
Yeah, this is an actual movie. So
maybe they'll have more like trailers and announcements and panels for this during the London Star Wars celebration.
Yeah, I'm not saying it won't be good, but it's not. Yeah. It's not going to be, because Star Wars, believe it or not, is actually kind of dark.
Yeah,
and I always said that.
That's why they had J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, but Taika Waititi's kind of, Thor Ragnarok, Guardians of the Galaxy, he's funny.
He's
light,
perky.
And he uses a lot of light and color, and that's not Star Warsy. So I'm not saying the movie won't be good, but his take on it is going to be different.
Interesting, yeah.
It's going to be different than what you would see typically in Star Wars.
Yeah. And then more movie news. The Pinocchio live-action trailer was released, and it's Tom Hanks as Geppetto, Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Jiminy Cricket, Keegan-Michael Key as Honest John. I forgot who that is. Not Keegan-Michael Key, Honest John. So the movie will be released September 8th on Disney+, straight to Disney+.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably wasn't going to go to the movie theater.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
I'm not into stuff that turns into live action. Like, animation that turns into live, because it's like the same thing. But just live action.
Sometimes it's just weird. It's like.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Like The Lion King was just weird. It's like.
I still haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Annika? No. How do you say her name? Annika Noni Rose, who's the voice of Tiana, I think. She hinted, or accidentally hinted, that Splash Mountain's Princess and the Frog revamp will open in 2024.
So Annika? Yes.
Annika?
Yeah, she's stated she's been working with Disney on the ride. So with singing and stuff. So that's how she knows.
I see. So it wasn't any official news. It was everyone caught that interview and got all excited, and that's
she said it on I forget, like
Good Morning America,
something in Kelly or Ryan or whatever.
That show.
Yeah, and so she just like, oh yeah, I've been working with them on the ride, and they're she said they're making a ride and it's going to be released in 2024.
Yeah,
and so.
Disney
what otherwise would she be working on?
Yeah,
it's not Space Mountain,
right?
Which would be funny. They're going to add like a sing along to Space Mountain.
That'd be funny.
All right.
And Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness will be on Disney Plus June 22nd, so later this month.
So we're not going to see it in the theater.
Yeah, I wanted to see it in the theater again, but now that it's going to be out soon, I'm like, forget it. It's fine. We'll just watch it at home. Then I can see the captions, because I kind of missed a lot of the stuff they were saying.
Yeah.
Because they were talking fast, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I was like, what'd they say? So, yeah. So, I'm excited about that.
So, yeah. So that's it for us today. Do we have to mention the wallet again? I guess so.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you can see, I asked my sister to help with making videos, and she made a video for me when I went with her. It got a lot of views and likes, but nobody came up to us.
Dude, we were at Star Wars Celebration with that wallet. You went to Disneyland with your sister with that wallet?
Yes. She made another video for us, which we'll post either tomorrow or Saturday. And we're staying on property. So.
We're actually going to be at Paradise Pier Hotel.
Yeah.
So, for a wedding.
And then we'll be at Storytellers, too. Eating a buffet at Disney. So, we'll see. I've, enlisted my sister to help. And she's like, you guys got to stop doing pictures. I need some videos. So she's like, that's the thing, is videos. I was like, fine. We'll make videos and we'll send them all to you and you do whatever you need to do. So anyways, yeah. So it was a funny story that some random person came up to us at Star Wars Celebration. For a second, I was like, this wallet will be gotten rid of. He's like, excuse me. And then I was like, yes. And he's like, oh, do you know where you got those wristbands? I was like, oh, man, you're not here for the wallet.
Yeah. So the legacy of the wallet. It will be a legend.
That wallet will be out of season by the time you give it away.
Out of season. It's going to be... They're going to dig it up in the ice in the glacier, 10,000 years from now. So, all righty. Well, that's us. I'm Brian.
I'm Tracy.
Stay magical.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe and visit us at www.ropedroppingknowledge.com.